So I have a bunch of futures that are still alive. UConn knocked out Arkansas, which was fine for me because I have UConn. I have Miami. But the ticket I'm most intrigued by is Creighton, where I have a 35-1 and a 75-1. I said to Amal, can you help me figure out the strategy in hedging this ticket? What's the math I have to do? How much should I bet each round? And full disclosure, I'll give you the numbers. It's $20 to win $1,100. All of these bets are about similar. About 38 for $1,100 on UConn, 23 to win 13 on Miami. But it's Creighton that I really wanted him to focus on. So he said he would be my friend for a minute and help me out here and figure out this strategy.
Seconds too long, but anyway, he's got $20 on Creighton to win $1,100. So he's got a great bet here, Patrick. And I thought the simple solution today would be to take Princeton plus 10 at $22. So if Princeton covers and Creighton wins, you're in fantastic. You're completely free rolling. You have no risk involved moving forward. However, if Creighton were to lose the game outright, he still breaks even, doesn't lose any money. My biggest thing is the old adage, you never go broke taking a profit. I know we're going to discuss this down the line with Steve Fezzik, and I think he's got a little bit of a different philosophy than I do on this one. I tend to be a little bit more conservative in this approach. And then if Creighton wins this game, they're going to play Bama. They're probably going to be about a 4 to 5 point underdog. And if you look at the line today between Texas and Xavier, or between Xavier and them, depending on the money line there, you could lay. Do you have the money line in front of you there on the Texas game? It's probably about two.
I'll get it for you in 2 seconds.
It's probably about $2. Maybe
no, it's right. I got it. It's 95. So
okay.
$2. Yeah. To 85.
Yeah. So you come back on Sunday laying roughly $80, maybe a little bit more, depending on where you want to go profitability-wise with Texas in that matchup. And if you get lucky and let's say Xavier wins this game, Creighton in a rematch against a conference opponent, you got a great opportunity there. Remember, they got absolutely crushed in the Big East tournament by Xavier, so a good revenge spot, and the number's going to be much cheaper. It's going to be plus or minus 1 or 2 on either side there, so you could come back with the money line on either side. What the goal is to put yourself in a position where you don't have any risk involved. If I were to say to you, you can invest in a company where you purchase a stock and you have $0 out of pocket, or in a bet where you have $0 out of pocket, you take that every day of your life. And so to me, it's a similar situation here. Princeton plus 10, $22. If you didn't want to go with it on this one, I said to him, Dustin, I would pass on this game, and I would just roll the dice and go to the next one because I think Creighton's going to win this one comfortably, and then you could start doing in the final 3 games. But when you've got $1,100 pending, Patrick, on a $20 bet, you've got to walk out of here with some sort of profit.
The hedging conversation is like politics and religion. It's very personal. And a lot of people have different views on hedging and sports betting. Mike Somich, who's coming up later, is a little bit more adverse. You talked about Fezzik. You're a little bit more conservative. I think what you said to Dustin earlier on the phone was, he said, well, it's only $1,100. You said, don't think about it that way. $50 is a lot of money, right? So you're more, the way that you're approaching this is a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that point up, and I forgot about that. Look, from a guy that I learned a tremendous amount from, what he used to say to me was, he goes, I treat every bet like it's theoretically $100,000. And people go, they don't look at it that way. But this was a guy, I remember, I'll tell you a quick story. He lost $100,000 on a game. So everyone thought he was going to come back and fire the next day and the next day. He waited 9 days. This was Verlander heyday Detroit. He waits. Verlander's at minus 130. He bets $130,000 on Verlander back in the day where you could just get down comfortably in this town. And then Detroit wins the game. I don't know, 7-1, 8-1, 9-1, whatever it was. But his point was, it's not about the $100,000 bets. He goes, I started at small money, $20, $30, $40 bets. He goes, I always hate when people go, you got a bigger bankroll than I do. He goes, no, because I always treated every bet like it was a big bet. And Dustin was like, oh, it's only $20. I go, no, that's the problem. You got an opportunity to sit here. You're not, maybe Creighton doesn't win the national championship and you don't win $1,100, but there's an opportunity to walk out of here with a couple $100. Now you put yourself in a position to maybe do something like that down the line. You find a game you like Connecticut, against Arkansas, and you take the whole 200 and you throw it on it. Now you're at about 380. So you have to approach it in a way where the money means something. I don't care if it's 20, 200 or 2,000 or 20,000. You have to take it with the same serious nature on every bet. Don't be cavalier about it because you think you're a smaller better than somebody else. Anybody who started playing poker started playing 1-2, and they worked their way up to $25, $50 to $5,100 games. You don't just sit in there unless you're some rich guy coming in the first game and say, I'm going to play $5,100 and buy in for $50,000. So my point is, don't be cavalier because you have a small bet. Take it seriously, and that's how you build up your bankroll.
And again, for new bettors, hedging, a potential to win, and then a mitigation of loss.
Yeah.
Not hard. We go to the big guy. That was Professor Amal. He talks fast.
Sorry.
And he talks smart at times. No, that's good. And he was getting mathematical. Did you take something from it as the student, as the peer, as the pupil?
Yeah. I'm a really good producer because I came up with that idea, and he was awesome on it. It was very well explained. I loved it, Amal. It makes a lot of sense, and your approach is correct. I should look at it not in the money I invested, in the possible money I have coming back, and I need to just make sure that the ticket's paid for. That's how I think.
Absolutely. That's my point. Yes.
So first, ticket paid for. Second, get plus money now, and now I'm up no matter what. So I do like that approach. My question is, you prefer me look at the games versus maybe take a shot at like a future on, I mean, I didn't even check if it's on the board, but to win the region. I guess I wouldn't have that up yet after these already started, but that was the thought.
The region should still be up for this one because you've got Princeton, Creighton, and then you've got Alabama, San Diego State still yet to play. You could take a look at it, and do you have the numbers in front of you?
Yeah,
I have the numbers. What region are you looking at? Bama, Creighton, San Diego State, Princeton. Is that the one?
Alabama's minus 150 in the South. Mm-hmm. San Diego State is 6-1.
So, and what's Princeton?
They're off the board because they're New Jersey.
Oh,
Princeton's
got it.
28-1. Okay. I got Princeton offshore 28-1. I got offshore San Diego State 6.5-1, and I got Bama laying $1.50.
Okay, so let's start with look. It's a bit of a roll of the dice. I personally don't think Princeton can win this bracket. There's no reason to play it. So now it comes down to two teams, right? So you could take San Diego State. The bet is for $20. So you could simply throw on San Diego State $5.
It's true.
You get 30. So now you spent $25. Okay, and then we'll add in Alabama here in a second. Now with Bama, there's a greater chance that they're going to win this thing. So Patrick, for me, based on where he's sitting, I would probably throw $100 on Alabama, take back on that one. What's the math on that? About $60?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So now you've covered your cost. If you lose, you're out $105 between San Diego State and Alabama so far, plus the 20, $125. Now you're going into two games. You're going to still make a profit potentially of $1,100, but you've only spent $125. So you've got a margin of $975. So you've got some room there to make the hedge and come out with a profit.
And I'll take that on a $20 ticket. Absolutely every single time.
That's my whole point. That's where I kind of disagree with people they say you shouldn't hedge. And I understand the argument Samich makes, and he makes a compelling one. But I can tell you this. There are games, perfect example last night, San Diego State, UCLA. UCLA was plus 550 or so before they were even down 10. They were probably plus a dime, plus 1,000 when they were down 10 points. You put $100. Let's say you had $1,000 on the Zags money line. You're not worried about Amari Bailey's 3-point shot if you just throw $100 on there. See, I would rather lose that $100 every day of the week than not have the stress of the game, worrying about Bailey's shot and worry about Julian Strother going all Liberty High School and becoming the leading scorer there and duplicating it here in this game. I want to eliminate the stress. I want to put myself in a position where I either make a profit or I lose no money.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.